Hi, this is EJ, the Director of Training and Customer Experience Insights at Eighth Power Consulting, and I'm joined by our new friend, and we're really excited to introduce Callie Ritter. Callie, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
Hi, everyone. EJ, thanks for having me here. So I'm Callie Ritter, and I am really excited to be doing some partnering with EJ and all of the Eighth Power folks there. And I am a social worker by background, and for many, many years, I spent time in the employee assistance realm, which is what I call the guidance counselors for the workplace. And more recently, I have my own business, which is called Positive Ripple Training and Consulting, and I go in and I work with companies around social emotional intelligence and diversity issues.
Awesome. We're super excited that Positive Ripple and Eighth Power are joined at the hip now, really in the interest of moving forward the importance of diversity and inclusion in the workplace. So, Callie, it's, I think, always been on the table. It's always been visible. It's always been part of the conversation. But why is it now more than ever so important for a company to have D&I on the agenda?
So, EJ, I mean, I've been doing this for a very long time. We won't say how long, but a long time. And I will say that there was new life breathed into us a couple of years ago when we had the Me Too movement that hit across the globe. And what ended up happening is more and more organizations were interested in having conversations, interested in like blowing off the dust from their policies and having training brought out to all their employees. And it was really thrilling because people were showing up, and for not the first time, but with more energy and more attention and more curiosity around it. And so that was really thrilling to have really fabulous, robust, insight-oriented conversations. Then fast forward to this summer. I mean, 2020, we've had so much pain in this year. And this summer brought us a renewed attention on the racial inequity here in the United States. And with that, now companies once again are blowing the dust off of policies, taking a look at what they can do to take action, taking a look at their own plans around diversity and inclusion. And I feel really blessed to be able to be a part of that conversation and to help organizations, to help leaders. And really, honestly, I love helping individuals as they're trying to wrap their arms around all of this.
Well, and it's clearly a passion point of yours, Callie, and I think that's one of the hallmarks of a great trainer is if the trainer is not passionate about the topic's not going to come to life. So how has this become like really your hot button passion point topic?
So EJ, I could go with like my pat answer, which is, well, EJ, I'm a social worker by background. Like, this has been part of my blood for so long. But I'm going to be very honest and frank with you. I'm literally in the throes of planning my mother's memorial service right now. My mother passed away in the spring from COVID, and oh my gosh, I'm coming across some of her writings. And I'm coming across some of the letters that she's written. And I just like, I've had this new epiphany that like, this isn't about me. This is generational. And this was my mom's passion. And my mother wasn't an overt extrovert out there in the world, but she had this quiet drive. And I'm just so appreciative that this is something that she has passed on to me. And I feel very fortunate to have had her as a mother, but also kind of as a guide to lead me and to then help me as I'm leading others through this particular tumultuous time in our U.S. history.
Right. First of all, thank you for sharing that. That was beautiful and eloquent. That's an incredible connection that you made there. We'll pivot a little bit and quickly over to the business side of things. And I think, let's just be real with each other for a second. Like budgets are a real thing. So probably watching this video are leaders who are thinking about their upcoming year budget and they're thinking, okay, like, yeah, I get it. It's important. But what advice would you give to a business that is thinking about or has questions related to putting diversity and inclusion, not just in the budget, but as really part of the overall business strategy for the upcoming year?
Well, so I'd like for them to think about it more than just 2021. I really want them to think about how does diversity and inclusion play into the overall strategic long-term plan. So this is not a task du jour. This is really thinking about that this is where we want this company to move in. This is a particular value that we as an organization hold, and then thinking about what's the overall plan that we create. A part of that plan might be training and development. particularly as a part of that training and development, we'd really want to focus in and hone in on the leadership. Make sure that the leadership is in fact on the same page, and then thinking about what are the training opportunities for our employees. And there's lots of different training opportunities. And yes, some of this is budget. Some of this is also about the organization and the passion and how much they want to allocate and how much they're willing to put their resources towards it.
So you're part of the Eighth Power family now, and clients can come to us and say, hey, I loved Callie, that video was so cool, and I believe in this, this is important. But what is something that you want people to know about you and your teaching style and the learning style, particularly as it relates to diversity and inclusion? What can people expect from Callie Ritter in the classroom, virtual or in person?
I know, keep that open, like someday,
right?
maybe not too distant future, we can get out there and actually be in the same space with each other. Although, as you and I were talking about, I actually love the online work as well. I'm finding that it is lending itself very well to this topic of diversity and inclusion. So either way works, but I will tell you this. So for myself, as somebody who works in training and development, the words that usually get batted about with me is authenticity and passion. Okay, so those are two, when I survey customers to say, hey, if you were to give a testimonial, what are some of the words that you would describe? Those are probably the two most common words that come up for me. And I feel gratified. Like I do want to be authentic, and I do feel that I have passion. So I'm glad that that's evident. I have a way of diving into this topic in such a way that I am not triggering high levels of defensiveness. We want people to enter into this, and I'm not going to guarantee safety or anything like that. What I want is people to enter into this conversation with some level of curiosity and openness. And I take you through experiences. This is not didactic, death by PowerPoint. It is all based on experiences. And so therefore it's unique for every single person that attends. As much as we may go through the same experience and exercise, my takeaway from that is going to be vastly different than your takeaway. But it is about forming new ideas about ourselves, gaining insight into ourselves, and then thinking about where do we go from here. I love meeting with folks and thinking about myself as being somebody who is furthering them along in a journey. And what you and I are talking about is our journey with understanding and wanting to be a part of the conversation around diversity and inclusion right now. So I like to be a part of that. But what I really like to think about is that perhaps I'm accelerating somebody's journey, or maybe even kickstarting it.
That's amazing. And that's exactly what we want to do. Be it diversity and inclusion, leadership, customer experience skills. It's about a kickstart. It's about showing people what could be possible. And we're so delighted to be able to offer your products and services and your expertise to the Eighth Power family. So for anybody who's interested in having Callie Ritter work with your organization and furthering your relationship, by all means, you can visit eighthpower.com, or you can call the number on your screen, 603-785-1611. Hey, that's my personal cell phone. So call me anytime, text, whatever. I want to talk to you. So Callie, thank you so much. This was awesome chatting, and we're excited to get this ball rolling with you. This is an important topic.
Excellent. EJ, my great pleasure. Thanks for having me on.